Hello, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back into Centex Sports Network. Still here live from Big 12 Media Day at the Star here in Frisco, Texas. And I've got a really good friend of mine going way back to the old Midway days here with this one. Mr. Kyle Youmans in the building with us. Kyle, man, appreciate you jumping on here with us real quick, man. What's been going on?
Man, it's my pleasure because I'm the one that gets to watch you guys cover Centex Sports the way that you do. I mean, I'm a proud Midway alum, proud Waco, Texas native. My parents are still down there. We spent all last week down in the 254. So proud of where I come from, and I'm proud of you guys growing and seeing what you guys have done and built this thing on your own. It's been really cool to watch.
Man, absolutely. I appreciate it, man. Well, we've had you on here before, but each and every time I see you, man, I feel like you're going up a little bit higher, a little bit higher. Now you're on TV every single week during the season, man. Talk a little bit what's that's been like, man, getting a chance to cover the Dallas Cowboys team you've been watching forever.
Yeah, it's a dream come true, as you know very well from our Madden days back in the building. I've grew up a Cowboys fan, grew up covering or wanting to cover the team and being around it. I mean, you knew going into the high school days, I always wanted to be in journalism and I wanted to be in media.
Absolutely.
And I ended up finding a passion not only for the sports side, which we always had a passion for, but I found the passion for the media side as well, and the hard work that everybody has to put in to get to this point and to end up doing what we do on a normal basis. It's so much fun creating content, and I love creating good content for good people that watch our shows on DallasCowboys.com or some of the freelance play-by-play that I get to do. I mean, it's just it's a blast, and it's a dream come true. It's really cool too, like getting to see people like you who I knew growing up, and I knew early on in our days, and they're like, wow, this is exactly what you always wanted to do.
Exactly.
And it helps me reset and remember, you're right.
Yeah.
So whenever I'm staying up late at night editing videos or putting things together, it's all a good thing, and all the hard work comes to fruition on game days and on days like this where you get to see those people that you care about.
No, absolutely, man. It's crazy seeing us both at this point now, going back to the days, like you said, playing Madden, NCAA, MLB, all those things, man. It's been a lot of fun. The team you're covering, man, the Dallas Cowboys, I want to talk a little bit about them. What are some of the things we can expect? Obviously, on my show, we talk a lot about the Cowboys. A lot of Cowboys fans watch and listen to the show as well. What are some of those things we can expect this year, man? I feel like it's a big year for the Dallas Cowboys. New coach in there. Got Shotty in now as the head coach. Dak is back healthy. Added some new weapons, George Pickens, all of the guys, man. What are some of the things we can expect out of Dallas this year?
That's the thing is it's hard to see what we're going to expect because it's a first-year head coach. And traditionally in the NFL, first-year head coaches aren't necessarily successful. I mean, there are guys that go to a specific spot for the first time, and they've been a head coach in the past and they're able to win some games. That's all fine and dandy. Yeah. But this is a rookie head coach. He's never been in this position. However, he's been around for so long. Brian Schottenheimer has been in the NFL for 35 years, or 25 years, 35 years, whatever it ends up being. He's been around enough, and he's been around a bunch of great head coaches to say, I'm ready for this. Yeah. Of course, he comes from the lineage of Marty Schottenheimer. What you can expect are guys that are going to fight. And I think the roster speaks for itself. There's a lot of roster turnover from last year to this year. They feel pretty good about what they've done on the offensive line. They added the weapon in George Pickens, which helps out guys like Jalen Tolbert and Jake Ferguson down the depth chart. And it all ties back to Dak Prescott, who's back and healthy. So automatically, this team should be better than 7-10 is what they finished in 2024. 25 should be better on paper, because they've added those talents. They've gotten some guys back from injury, and who knows what the coaching staff will bring. But it's hard to really piece it together and say they're anything more than a possible playoff contender because they're in a division with two teams that went to the NFC title game a year ago.
Absolutely. You talked a little bit about Dak, man. He's the longest tenured guy here outside of, Jerry Jones at this point. He's been here a long time. How does he have to step up in a leadership role? I've talked a lot about this. He's got to be that voice, in my opinion, in that locker room to be able to help drive these guys because he's been there the longest. He's a 10-year starter at this point, going into, I don't want to say a prove-it year, but this is almost like a prove-it year. Okay, we've got you some more weapons. You're back healthy. We've improved the running game. We've drafted well. I think they drafted really well. What do you think about Dak Prescott going into this upcoming season?
No, I think you hit it right on the head. The leadership ability is partially why he was the highest paid player in NFL history. That's why he got the contract that he did. Because they do believe in him and as a leader. And if you're in the locker room and you're around this team, you see it. This is Dak's team. This is his team, and it will be his team for a considerable amount of time to get to that point. He's got to stay healthy. When he's been healthy and he's had weapons, he's been good. He's, of course, was an MVP caliber type of player a couple years ago. He's battled injuries this way and that way, and that's the biggest question for me. If he's able to stay on the field, I really don't have that many question marks around Dak. Is he a perfect player? No. Is he the same level as some of these other elite quarterbacks in the NFL? Probably not. But he's an incredible leader. He's going to be in the right place at the right time, and he's going to make good decisions with the football for the most part. I think adding that talent and adding guys like George Pickens is going to open things up entirely for him and for Dak to get better going into 2025. But the leadership, I don't question. The work ethic, I don't question. He was out here earlier today throwing to a couple wide receivers just on the practice field here in Frisco. He looks great. I think as long as the health is there, I think Dak is in for a good season.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you, man. I think Dak is primed for this position and for this moment. He's worked up to this now, adding in all of this different help. First-time head coach will have to help his coach out a little bit on the field out there as well. But I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see these Dallas Cowboys and see what this team can do. We're here at Big 12 Media Day, man. We've got to talk a little bit of Big 12. First question I've been asking a couple of people here, if you had to think of an all-time favorite Big 12 guy, and now me and you have been watching the Big 12 for a while, so you can go back as far as you want, or it could be somebody from last year. Favorite or favorites, if you have multiple Big 12 guys that you just love watching when you think about Big 12 football.
Growing up in Waco, it was right around our high school years.
Yes, it was.
Right at the beginning of our high school years that RG3 was doing what he was doing. I remember going to one of the first games that Robert Griffin III started, and he was just Robert Griffin at the time. They didn't even have the third on the back of his name yet because he wasn't a starting quarterback, and he didn't get that much say. And I think it was SFA or Wake Forest, one of those early season games, and he put a move on the left sideline, just threw on the brakes. Defender went right in front of him. It was on all his highlight reels at the end of his career even, and ended up picking up a first down and some extra yardage after doing so. I had a little AT&T flip phone when I was in high school or middle school at that point. And it had like a welcome message that you could put on your phone. And I went on there and I put Robert Griffin for Heisman because I didn't even have the RG3 nickname yet to throw on there and save myself some characters.
Exactly.
I threw on Robert Griffin for Heisman 2020 or 2012. I didn't even get the year right. And then, of course, he ended up winning it in 2011, and it was an incredible career. So I would say all-time favorite Big 12, it's RG3.
Absolutely.
Oh, my gosh, there are so many great names. I mean, Vince Young, what he was doing in the early 2000s, in 2005 leading that charge in one of the greatest games in college football history against USC was incredible. I loved seeing Jordan Shipley play. I thought he was always just nasty.
A monster at Texas.
Oh, man. Tavon Austin. I mean, I know that was right when West Virginia was getting into the Big 12. I don't know if even they were in the Big 12
I
at
think
the point.
they were.
Were they?
Yeah, they were in there for his last year.
Man,
Absolutely.
Tavon was incredible. I mean, he was so good. I remember Lake Seastrunk breaking away from Oklahoma State.
Shout out Lake Seastrunk. Yeah, for sure, man.
I can go through all the names.
Exactly.
Kendall Wright, Levi Norwood, Ahmad Dixon. Ahmad Dixon, of course, a Midway grad.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, there's a lot of great things that have happened in the Big 12, and I think the future is bright. I really Brett Yormark just gave his opening remarks in the building, and I think he's got this thing pointed in the right direction, even amidst all the craziness of conference realignment and all the different schools that have been placed in here. I mean, I'm looking up in front of us. There's Arizona State, UCF, Cincinnati, and then it finally gets to some of the traditionals like Texas
that
Tech
we're used to
and
seeing,
Baylor and some of those other schools. But those are three traditional programs just from different spots. And I think we saw that from Arizona State last year, winning the Big 12 title, going to and taking Texas all the way down to the wire in the Peach Bowl. This is a conference that has a bright future. Is it still up there with the Big Ten and the SEC? Not yet, but I think they're heading in the right direction.
No, I agree. I think they're definitely going in the right direction. You talked about this conference realignment has been a lot to kind of take in. A lot of teams you have to try to reestablish, okay, how is this team going to do? How is this team going to do? travel is a big part of it now. And you might have to fly across the country on a Saturday, come back to school, go to class, and then fly right back across the country. Who are some of those teams in this Big 12, since we're here, that you see as a contender? Because honestly, the Big 12 is wide open.
Yeah,
it's wide open. We saw it last year. Everybody picked a lot of people had Arizona State finishing last and Oklahoma State finishing first, and that ended up being flipped the opposite way. Who are some of those teams you see that can be at the top to be able to win this Big 12? I got teams like, obviously, the Kansas States, the Texas Tech, and what they've done in NIL, now adding a lot of people. Obviously, I'm always going to throw Baylor in there, the Iowa States in there as well. Who are some of those teams you see as those top guys in the Big 12 to have a chance to win it?
Well, just being in Waco, I mean, Baylor's got a shot. They've got a quarterback, they've got a running back, and they've got some weapons on defense, too, that they can utilize. So I don't want to write off Baylor, but it's hard for me to ignore the buzz around Texas Tech.
Absolutely.
And Joey McGuire, of course, he's got some Waco lineage there, too. He's got that thing rolling in NIL. They've got the support. They've got the talent. I think they have enough returning pieces to where they're going to be legit. And it may take a little bit. They may stumble early in Big 12 play. I wouldn't be surprised if we looked up and they're 1 win or 2 wins away in the final weeks of the regular season to getting back to AT&T Stadium and playing for a title. There's a really good shot that all kind of pieces together for Joey and that staff this year. I think Arizona State's an interesting one because they have a couple of transfers that I really like. Udo is their running back from Army last year, who was tremendous. I think he's going to be kind of an undersung guy here in the Big 12 this year. And, of course, Kenny Dillingham and what he's done. You can't write off Arizona State because of what they did last year. On paper, they probably don't look as talented because they lost guys like Scadaboo and some of these other top talents to the portal and whatever it may be. But if you go to the college football playoff, you may lose guys to the portal, but you're going to gain some guys too, and I think they did. So those are the kind of the ones that I've got my eye on. Dion in Colorado is always going to be a story. I think they're going to have some growing pains, but I like Caden Salter at quarterback.
Coming from Liberty.
Former Cedar Hill Longhorn up here in DFW. Went to the college football playoff, or excuse me, a New Year's Six Bowl with Liberty. Played Bo Nix in Oregon during that time. So I really do like some of these teams in the Big 12, but like you said, it is wide open, and I can't wait to watch.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. 16 teams now in the Big 12. It's kind of a new thing, but, man, seeing so many of these teams out here, Arizona State is one I definitely put up there. I like Sam Levitt. I just seen Avery Johnson behind us a couple of minutes ago from Kansas State. I think he's one of the better quarterbacks.
He's legit. I really like him, too. And Kansas State always does things the right way. That's the other thing. That's continued from the Bill Snyder days. They have had different coaches come in there, and they may not be the upper echelon of college football, but you know they're going to be a hard out, and they're going to be a hard game to win. It is not easy to win in the Little Apple. You got to go up to Manhattan and win there. That is not an easy place to go and win, and I think that continues. It's just a tough, gritty brand of football. It's turned into NFL talent every year. They have guys drafted. We've got a couple guys here, Deuce Vaughn, Cooper Beebe, that are both there. The Cowboys hired, Brian Schottenheimer hired their offensive line coach in Connor Riley. They have a brand. They keep up with that brand one way or the other. I see Payne behind us in a Kansas State jersey. I think the purple and silver, I guess is what they call it. Purple and silver. It's going to continue to be good again, and it's going to keep having that throughout the years.
Yeah, I agree. Kansas State is always one of those traditional programs that's going to be competitive no matter what conference you stick them in. The Big 12, SEC, wherever you stick them, those guys are going to be competitive in that. Sawyer Robinson's been getting a lot of, I guess, attention. He's got the highest QBR for any returning quarterback in the Power 4 schools. How do you see him stacking up not only against these quarterbacks within the Big 12, but in the nation?
Yeah, I think it's wide open there, too, because you hear about all of the hype around guys like Arch Manning in Texas, and deservedly so. He's a really good quarterback. I think this is a year that's wide open for races like the Heisman and the Maxwell and the O'Brien and some of these other like big-time awards, because the quarterbacks aren't necessarily the ones taking the forefront. You see the hype around guys like Jeremiah Love. You see the hype around guys from Ohio State, pass catchers. They've got like 5 of them that are like in the Heisman hunt, apparently. I think Sawyer Robinson, if he's able to piece together a year, it could turn into something special.
I believe so, too.
And he's got the talent, the arm talent. I mean, NFL teams are drooling over what he can do sideline to sideline. I think he's going to be very much so in the conversation of a first-round pick if he puts together a perfect year. The biggest question for me is, does he have the pass catchers to give him that right? I know he's got the running back.
Yeah,
I mean,
Bryson
Washington's a dude.
Yeah.
He's going to be incredible. They've got an offensive scheme that I think can benefit guys like Sawyer Robinson. Can he piece it all together and put together a great year? I'm a believer. I think he will, and I think Baylor's going to go to a bowl game, a really good bowl game, and then try and be one of the surprises of college football. Because when you have a franchise quarterback, I say that in the NFL, when you have a franchise quarterback, it changes everything. Sawyer Robinson is that.
Yeah, I definitely agree, man. He can change the landscape. Kind of snuck up on everybody last year. DeQuan
really
Finn
did.
started out as the guy. He gets hurt. Sawyer Robinson comes in. Bryson Washington comes off injury. Josh Cameron has a breakout year. It all kind of starts flowing together for these Baylor Bears, man. So I'm excited. Kyle, man, I appreciate you coming on here for a couple of minutes, man, coming with us, man, talking a little Baylor football, a little bit of Cowboys football. Tell the people where they can find you, man. I know you're going to be on a few different shows this upcoming fall, but where they can find you and what to watch for this fall.
Yeah, at Kyle_Youmans on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I'm on there as well. Really just excited to get ready for football season. Dallas Cowboys Now app, DallasCowboys.com. I create content for both of those all throughout the year. Draft coverage. Follow the podcast at Talking Cowboys if you want to do that as well. And then watch out. I've got some things working for college football. I've got a couple things coming up. I think there's a good shot that I could be on some play-by-play for some good college football, major FBS stuff. So we'll see what happens. I don't want to speak too soon on it, but I know there's a lot of excitement around college football this year, and I just want to be a part of it.
No, definitely. And I got to shout out to Mean Green. Can't leave that out. Both Kyle attended UNT, man, put out some really good guys. But, Kyle, appreciate you jumping on here with us, man. And we'll do it again for sure.
Absolutely, anytime.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll be back here on Centex Sports Network. Everybody stay tuned here at Big 12 Media Day at the Star in Frisco.